this is the last game.
Initiating match.
Alright, so we are on the 4th preseasonal invitational game of Overwatch 2 here at MSU West Plains. And I seem to have started on the wrong side of the map, so we're going to go over here to the Grizzlies and see how they're doing over here. We've got Shully on Mercy, who is pocketing blue on Pharah, doing the pharmacy technique over here. Already shooting a lot of rockets at the opposing team. And it looks like there's already a lot of fighting going on in the center with Rad going up against the opposing Orisa. Looks like Blue has already picked up 2 eliminations. Jimmy Buck is picking up 1, and it looks like almost a team wipe for the Grizzlies right there.
The objective is now active.
It looks like the Grizzlies have pushed Hutchinson all the way back into their spawn room. Looks like they need to go for a regroup right here in order to try to take back this point. The Grizzlies are now earning time on this point. However, the opposing Symmetra does, oh, and Rad takes the Ramattra off the map. That was beautiful, Rad. Proud of you, man. But it looks like they're doing a great job of keeping Hutchinson away from this point.
Sorry, but I need to check. Sorry, but I need to check.
Looks like some of the Wildcats are splitting up a little bit. We've got the Ana and the Moira on the side. Both supports are split completely away from the rest of their team. Not 100% sure what kind of tactical advantage that would bring the Wildcats here, but looks like they do take down 3 of the Grizzlies in an attempt to take this point away from the Grizzlies. Looks like Rad doesn't quite get away right there, so it's up to the Grizzlies to regroup and take this point back. Looks like Blue and Shully are still going for the pharmacy tactic right here, dealing a lot of damage. And Rad was just slept and pushed off of the bridge right there. And the opposing Orisa was also taken off the map. So it's a tank for tank trade right there, with Blue using his ultimate and picking up an easy kill, but was then taken by the opposing soldier. Looks like Shully uses his ultimate in order to heal the entirety of the Grizzlies right here. Jimmy Bucket's looking a little bit low right there, but uses his healing. Looks like the Grizzlies are now contesting this center with the opposing Orisa using her ultimate. Looks like 2 of the Grizzlies have fallen, now up to 3. And that is almost a team wipe by the Wildcats right here, but Jimmy Buckets is staying alive, dealing a lot of damage. However, he does fall to the opposing soldier. So the Wildcats have now taken the lead against the Grizzlies, so it's up to the Grizzlies to come back and take this point in under 25 seconds before the Wildcats take a round 1 victory. Rad picking up a couple eliminations right here, taking out some Symmetra turrets. Doing a lot of damage, taking out the Orisa as well. Looks like Blue has switched over to his main Genji right here. Looks like the Grizzlies have already taken back this point. Seems like the opposing Symmetra is trying to launch a lot of...
It seems like they're going to try to get the TP back up, but... Let's see if they can get it back.
Looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
It is a good strat, though.
However, she did disable her teleport. lot of conflict going on right here. Looks like the Wildcats have taken Baptiste. We're trying to do some stuff with Baptiste. Blue going in with the Dragon Blade, absolutely ruining this team. However, he does get taken by the Orisa after claiming a double elimination on the Wildcats. So the Wildcats are really pushing in right here in order to get inside, but they did avoid her ultimate ability. Looks like the overtime for the Grizzlies is going to be taken, and the Grizzlies have a 1-0 round lead.
That switch over to Genji really did help them.
Absolutely. Seeing Blue on his main is definitely a great feeling. He plays really well on Genji, and it's also good to see Jimmy Buckets on somebody like Soldier 76. His aim is absolutely beautiful, and it looks like he has switched over to Soldier 76 right here. But back to Symmetra. Looks like Rad is going to be staying on Reinhardt, but he does switch over to Sigma. He just got his golden hammer for Ryan just the other day, so it's kind of concerning he's not wanting to use it here for the stream.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it looks like Royal has switched over to Ana, who is her main.
The objective.
Looks like the Wildcats, we got the Bastion pushing in.
Ooh, that was a good strap by them.
Very good strap by the Grizzlies right here. Using the teleport to get into the top window. Taking out a lot of the Wildcats right here. Huge damage by Blue right there. Taking out a lot of the Wildcats.
Amazing.
That was amazing by Blue. Looks like he's pushing up a little bit farther, trying to get some easy early damage on the Wildcats, really keeping them back. Hearing a lot of celebration from our Grizzlies team in the other room right now. Looks like they're having a lot of fun with this game. Blues has gone around, is doing his absolute best to take out this Junkrat from behind. He does take a lot of damage. Looks like the Wildcats are really trying to come together right here in order to take it. Looks like Rad as Sigma just blocked 99% of that opposing Bastion's shots. That Bastion's got to be a little bit upset over that.
I know I would.
I definitely would be as well. As a Bastion player myself, I probably would have thrown something after that. Looks like Blue is doing the exact same thing he did before. He does have his Dragon Blade ready. I'm ready to see Royal's Nano on his Dragon Blade and just see how well they can do. Last time we had a combination like that, he did drop a team wipe and it executed him. Looks like it's about to happen right here. However, there, Lucio did use an ultimate, and guessing it stopped Blue from using his Dragon Blade. Looks like the Grizzlies are doing an absolutely amazing job at keeping the Wildcats away from this point. This is definitely their map. So it looks like they're getting ready to use their Nano Blade technique here, which is what wins a lot of games for the Grizzlies right now.
I'm excited to see if the opposing team is going to change up their strategy a bit to see if they can.
Definitely looks like they're going to need to after a 3K, almost 4K
That
with
was
Blue right there.
very impressive.
That was impressive. Great job, Blue. Great job, Grizzlies, as Grizzlies are now winning 1-0 after the first game goes to MSU. Let's go ahead and see the play of the game. Looks like Jimmy Buckets as Symmetra gets play of the game. Easily taking out the Ramatra as well as the Lucio. Looks like possibly the Reaper right here as well, however was cut short. And we are now getting ready for game 2 with the Grizzlies being in the lead. Wonder what map they're going to be choosing for this second round. I heard talk about Coliseo maybe, but we'll see what push map they'd like to have.
I'm excited to see if our team has gotten better at push maps, because that is one of the modes that they seem to struggle on.
Definitely. I have noticed that over time as well. However, during practices, I've been glancing over and just trying to watch over their shoulders and see how well they were doing. And they do outperform themselves in public games, but these private matches, college versus college, is definitely a lot different than a plain public match.
Oh, I totally agree.
So it sounds like they're currently still discussing that between each other. It looks like they're using Midtown.
This is a new pick for them,
Absolutely a new pick, I agree.
but I have seen them practice on this and they seem to be doing fairly well. Oh,
Oh, Li Zhang? Looks like they're going to Esperanza for this second game in their push map. Sounds like they're having a lot of fun in the other room. I'm not sure if the mic's picking that up, but there's a lot of yelling going on between the Grizzlies over there.
Esperanza is a not so fun map if you're on the losing side.
Absolutely. I've played a handful of matches on this map, probably more than I'd like to play, and it's definitely a pretty rough one if you're on the opposing side.
Now this map, you definitely need to know the ins and outs of the pathways.
Initiating match.
Alright, so the second game has now started. However, there could potentially be an issue with the first game. It seems as if the home team, the Wildcats, had a few of their settings set incorrectly. So it may turn out to be that that game does not count initially.
Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
We have swapped out Royal for Jaden Key. So we've got a completely new support player on our team.
I'm
Using
excited to see
Lucio.
how she fares.
Absolutely. So this is a push map, and as per usual, the teams have to stay next to their robot in order to take it to the opposing side of the map and win the round.
It seems like Blue is in their back line. Oh no, he's actually on top of the bridge. Okay.
Right. Looks like Blue is on Tracer. That is a bold play by my boy Blue right here. I've never seen him pull something like this before. Looks like Jimmy Buckets is on Soldier. I've seen him fry lobbies as Soldier, as he's doing right now. Shully, Rad picking up a few eliminations on the Wildcats. Really taking the Wildcats back into their spawn room right there. Looks like they're going to have to regroup and do an entirely, completely new push in order to take this robot away from the Grizzlies, because he just keeps on trekking. So it's going to take a lot to stop the Grizzlies from keeping this robot on the Wildcat side of the field. It's like Blue is in the opposing backline trying to get out there and get some damage.
Oh, that is some confidence right there.
Yeah, that is definitely some confidence by Blue. However, it's warranted confidence. He deserves it.
Indeed.
Doing a lot of damage to the Soldier, but he isn't his healing. And he drops his ultimate on the opposing Kiriko, taking him out right there. It looks like the Wildcats actually have taken the bot away from the Grizzlies.
Ooh, and it seems as though our supports are taking a little bit of a hit, and we just lost Jaden Key to their...
Beautiful ultimate by Rad right there on Sigma, taking out
beautiful.
only one of them, two of them, however.
But they did
And that is
significant damage.
3. Looks like the opposing Ramatra is still being pocketed by their Mercy. And he uses his ultimate. It looks like Rad's going to be in a little bit of trouble right here, trying to back away from this Ramatra ultimate. Looks like the entirety of the Grizzlies is taking a lot of damage from this ultimate. However, he was taken, and the res was not completed by the Mercy. And it looks like the bot is back under Grizzly control, and they're heading back onto the Wildcat side of the play. Blue going back up into the back line and attempt to deal some extra damage. Great movement right here, great dodging mechanic. Putting down lots of sprays on the floor. I've never seen stuff like that before. A lot of combat going on right here between our two tanks.
If they can finish off the opposing team's tank, which it seems like they might be able to, since yes, there we go. That is a
Huge.
team wipe for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. Grizzlies really pulled together right there to get that team kill. Looks like the Wildcats are just having to reset again and again. It looks like they have switched over to Zarya and Torbjorn. That is going to be pretty rough for the Grizzlies to have to deal with. However, I've got faith in our Grizzlies. Like Blue got a little bit scared right there, letting out a high-pitched squeak. That bot is getting closer and closer and closer to the Wildcat side of the field. Looks like they're opposing Zarya, pushing up really, really far, just kind of doing her best to deal with damage to the Grizzlies team. But it's not working very well for this Zarya, as she was just taken out by Jimmy Buckets. Rad blocking lots of damage right there with his absorption and his shield. Rad does have his ultimate right here. I'm excited to see what he does with it. And there it goes. Here goes Rad's ultimate, getting all of them right there. And picking up a triple. Huge damage by Rad.
Amazing.
And round number 2 does go to the Grizzlies, giving them a 2-0 lead.
That was a beautiful win.
That was beautiful. Looks like Rad has got play of the game right here. Let's see what this is.
I remember this one was a very warranted win, I think.
Huge damage.
It is always good to go after the support that is pocketing the tank or DPS.
Absolutely. Alright, so we're going to be moving into game 3 here. All the Grizzlies have to do is win this final game, and then they're going to be able to take home the win for the 4th and final preseason invitational match. It looks like they're going to Nepal for their 3rd game.
What?
Drone delivery by the slice.
Mario's place?
Mario's place. Gotta be a pizzeria, right?
Mamma mia.
Beautiful.
Papa mia.
Open 7 days? Is it 24 hours? That'd be crazy.
Crazy.
That'd be
Not in
crazy.
this economy.
Ready for battle.
Alright, so the third round is now starting and we are on Midtown. This is a hybrid map. So the Grizzlies are on attack first. They've got to capture a point and then unlock a payload and escort it all the way to the Wildcats side of the field. Looks like Blue's doing a little dance over here. See if he'll do it again. Probably not. No, it doesn't look like it. He's just flipping tables at this point. Look at that. And it looks like the Wildcats are choosing to stay on the point instead of moving up into their choke point in order to hurt the Grizzlies as soon as they come out here. Looks like Rad has switched over to Junker Queen. I've never seen this man play Junker Queen. I'm kind of excited to see this, how good he performs right here. Looks like the Grizzlies are already on the point right up here. Shully already getting up there as Lucio.
But they're split up, and there's the full team of the Wildcats.
They
right
are
there.
split up, however, they have taken out 2 of them. And now down to 3. Jimmy Bucket's already picking up 2 eliminations. Rad with 2 as well. And it looks like that is almost a team wipe. However, their May is staying inside of that little ice cube.
Not for long.
Yeah, not for long whatsoever. She's being pushed into the corner. And was taken out by Blue right there. Looks like this first point's just going to be absolutely given to the Grizzlies right here.
I
As
wonder if
Blue continues to go out here.
Oh, nope, it seems like they will not be able to touch it.
Aw, Blue does fall right there to the opposing Ramacha. However, this payload is now coming out of the garage. Cute little fire truck right here. Look at that. Alright, now combat has resumed again. Looks like the opposing Ramacha is coming in to try to take on the Grizzlies head on, being pocketed by their Kiriko in the back. However, he was taken out. And Jimmy Buckets does fall to the May. Looks like the Torbjorn's turret is just sitting up there. Looks like Rad trying to take that out. Looks like Rad is attempting his best to solo that man. He does succeed. Blue and Rad are really just going in here and just absolutely slaying this lobby.
They just bullied that Torbjorn.
Wow, looks like the Grizzlies are just absolutely slaying out in this lobby. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm excited to see what Blue is about to do with his Dragon Blade right here. Looks like he's already going in, picking up a kill on the Kiriko. And another on the Junkrat, going back in. However, he doesn't pick up a third, but he did deal some significant damage to that Ramatra. Looks like he's trying to take down this Zenyatta right here as well, in order to get rid of some of their healing, and he does succeed. Rad used his ultimate as well, and it looks like Blue and Rad are just absolutely ruining the Wildcats right now. This payload has gone up to its first checkpoint, and now the Grizzlies are going to be spawning closer if they are to be eliminated, but it doesn't look like they're really going to be with the way that they're playing right now. Jimmy Bucket sitting up here on the top, getting ready to get some extra easy damage on the Wildcats.
They are doing a phenomenal job at keeping the pushback.
Absolutely. Grizzlies are really coming together right here. This team is absolutely frying the Wildcats. Looks like this Ramacha's already fallen in his ultimate. Looks like Jimmy Buckets is about to use his ultimate, see if he can get some easy damage. Look at this. Using his built-in legal aimbot on the Wildcats right there.
Rad is getting very low.
This payload is getting closer and closer and closer to the final point in order for the Grizzlies to win the third and final match and take home the win for this preseason game. Looks like all that's standing in between the Grizzlies and victory is this May and Lucio, and now they're Baptiste. Looks like Blue is going in with his Dragon Blade. doing lots of damage right here on this opposing Winston. Does get taken out right there. And it looks like the game goes to the Grizzlies. And now all they have to do is keep the Wildcats off of the very first point for the time limit. And the Grizzlies will be taking home a 3-0 victory.
Sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Alright, looks like the Grizzlies are now moving up in order to defend this very first point. And it looks like Blue has switched over to Widowmaker in order to get some easy headshots in the opposing team. And Shully has switched over to Mercy in order to, looks like, maybe try to pocket Rad a little bit so he can get some great damage and stay well and healthy. It's like Rad is awaiting some combat right here. He's constantly swinging his hammer trying to beat up this car. Now it's time for the Wildcats to move out of their spawn room. See if Blue can get any picks on them right here. Dealing a little bit of damage to that Echo and snagging the elimination. It's like Rad was just low. A lot of combat going on between the Roadhog of the Wildcats and Rad right here. However, Rad does beat out that Roadhog, and it looks like almost a team wipe for the Grizzlies right here if that Moira did not fade back into her spawn room. It's like Rad and this Roadhog had to fight again on a solid 1v1. It looks like Rad's ultimate is ready. However, he was slept by the Ana, but he's got to jump back right here. Sustain healing. And he does take out both of the Wildcat supports and DPS. It looks like almost their Roadhog as well. The Roadhog was taken out, but Blue does fall to that Roadhog. But Shully does pick up the revive, so Blue is back in the game. Good damage by Blue right here. Ooh, however, he was taken out by that Mei. Grizzlies are doing an absolutely amazing job at keeping the Wildcats back off this point. 2 minutes and 9 seconds is all it takes for the Grizzlies to keep them off. However, this Roadhog was nanoed and was pushing in. It is up to Jimmy Buckets and Shully to keep them off at this point. However, it looks like the Wildcats are now doing their best to gain some time on this point. It's up to the Grizzlies to get on there and contest that point so they don't have to take any more.
I do believe that tactical retreat was
I agree. It's much better to run in as a group rather than as a solo. Looks like Shully doesn't quite get the revive off on Rad right there. It's like Jimmy Buckets is trying to do some damage at this point. So now it comes down to not letting the Wildcats take this payload to the checkpoint in order for the Grizzlies to win this round. You've got to keep this payload contested for an upwards of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Looks like we see Royal trying to heal her teammates right here. Or Shully trying to heal her teammates.
They are definitely playing characters that they are well adapted. Ooh. That Roadhog
Shully
just tried to get Shully, but
Shully barely survived that Roadhog grapple right there.
yeah, he was very lucky.
Looks like the Wildcats are staying back a little ways. Blue using his ultimate in order to highlight the entirety of the Wildcats for the team right there. See if he can get a pick on them.
Actuating the barrier.
Good pick. Damage on the Echo. Looks like they're leaving the Hog untouched while he's asleep so that he can't do any damage. However, he was stunned and is getting constant healing, but Rad uses his ultimate trying to take down that Hog, and it did work. Looks like a Mei ultimate by the Wildcats right here, getting Shully frozen. However, he did survive that, thanks to Rad taking out that Mei. Grizzlies are doing an absolutely beautiful job keeping the Wildcats back off this payload. They keep moving this fire truck back inch by inch, as you can see.
And the time is slowly ticking down for the Wildcats. Let's see if they have it within them to get it.
Already been 2 minutes, and the Wildcats have not gotten it even halfway to the checkpoint yet. However, they are making a slight bit of progress. And it looks like Rad has been nanoed by Shully right here. Looks like he's doing a lot of damage. Jimmy Buckets, however, with his ultimate, absolutely going in right there, dealing a lot of damage and picking up a lot of eliminations.
That was a very good ult.
Absolutely. Good picks by Jimmy Buckets right here, dealing a lot of damage and taking out some of the more squishy characters. Huge damage by Rad and Jimmy Buckets right here.
And they just got their tank.
Wildcats are going to really have to come together right here in order.
They now have less than a minute to get the payload to the next point.
Looks like Rad is on a 15 kill streak right here. Absolutely beautiful. This man is performing exceptionally well on Sigma. Looks like his ultimate is back. I'm ready to see what he's going to do with this. Looks like they have switched over to Sombra in order to suppress their ult. And it looks like an ultimate right there by Rad is going to take out their Lucio. It looks like... Ooh.
Seems like they might be getting pushed back right here. We just
Shully
lost
was just
Shully.
taken out.
It seems like switching over to Sombra was a very good move on their part.
They also switched over to Reaper as well. Seeing Blue pick up a lot of damage, a lot of eliminations on this team right now. Huge damage by Blue, huge damage by Jimmy Buckets and his ultimate.
And now it is in overtime, and
it looks like
they will not be able to get it. That was a very nice game on both parts.
the Grizzlies are taking home the win on the 4th and final preseasonal invitational game, 3-0 against the Wildcats. Good game.
Play of the game.
And looks like Rad picks up the play of the game.
I'm excited to see what the stats are.